everyone. Welcome to New Hope Now, New Year's edition.
Ha'olamaki kiho.
What?
Come on.
That was it. Happy New Year's for all of you who don't know what that means. It's 2020?
I know.
2020.
Oh my gosh. Wow. The brand new decade.
That's
not
crazy.
just a new year, a new decade.
Let's get going. So for our show today, we have planned, we're kind of going to talk about our top 3 favorite moments from this past year at New Hope Oahu. Let's dive in. So in no particular order, what's one of your top 3 favorite moments from this past year?
Yeah, I think it's really important, Garrett. I'm glad we're doing this for everyone to do that. Because before we know, we'll be in the new year, we'll be in the throes of our planning and all the scheduling and all of that. And it's really important to take these moments as milestones, as they did in Scripture, where they would set up the stones and say, hey, we want to point to what it is that God did, not just for this generation, but for every generation coming after. And I've got a couple that are like big scale and then kind of smaller scale. But I think the biggest one for me, I think of, is that we got to have our first Easter here. But it was the first time we had it here on Sand Island in our location here, and we called it Welcome Home. We had a number of services. We had even a sunrise service over at Sand Island.
First.
Our first sunrise service. And it was just so neat. There was just something about it that even though we had thousands and thousands of people, it just felt like we were celebrating Easter at home, which of course we were. And to see all of our amazing volunteers making that happen, the ones standing out on the streets with the signs, helping people with parking, because that's, always a challenge here. And everyone's attitudes were so amazing. And to just see all the salvations after Pastor Wayne's message, I don't know, it felt really special to me. Easter is always special. But because it was our first time having it at home on our property here in Oahu, that one really stuck out to me.
What was another favorite moment of yours?
Yeah, it was actually, I think it was in October. Normally we don't do ministry time at the altar, but I just felt like the Lord was saying there's a lot of people that needed prayer. And our amazing prayer teams and our pastors and everybody just made themselves available, and we left a little bit of time at the end of the message on that particular weekend. And I wasn't sure how many would come up because, typically we don't really do that. And it takes a lot of guts to be able to get out of your chair and go up in front of people and say, hey, I need prayer. And every single service, hundreds of people went up front and to receive prayer. And it just showed me the heart of our church and their willingness and their hunger to be close to God. What I love about our church is that we're not playing church. We're not here pretending like, hey, we've all got it together. But really this sense of, no, we are a hospital, and we come here because we know there's areas we need to get healed in. And there's just their willingness to say no to pride or position or whatever and say, hey, I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to get prayer. Easily one of the highlights for me of 2019.
And so what was maybe the top 3, maybe the last favorite moment from 2019?
Yeah, this one was happened over the course of 10 weeks. We just graduated our first class of our School of Church Leadership, Leadership Essentials. We had 50 show up at, get this, 5:30 on a Tuesday morning.
Oh, a.m.
5:30 a.m. For 10 weeks in a row to learn from some teachings from Pastor Wayne. And we had another 100 online. So about 150 or so for this first. And we'll be offering another one in the spring if you did get a chance to be a part of it. But what I loved was, first of all, personally, it reminded me of when I was an intern here and I got up at 5:30 in the morning to learn from Pastor Wayne and some of our other pastors. But I also loved the fact that it was multiple generations. It was young and it was old. It was people that have full-time jobs, people that have kids, people that are still in college, and across the board, everyone came at 5:30 in the morning for one thing. We wanted to grow in our knowledge of Scripture and to become better leaders and influencers in our lives. And it was just such a joy to be able to see that again. hearkening back to the thing that Pastor Wayne said from the beginning, is that we are here to equip the saints for the work of the ministry. I just wanted to congratulate each and every one of you that stuck it out and really grew, and I can't wait to see how God's going to use you and the things you learned in 2020. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and we want to thank online everyone who watches every week, because I don't know about if you've noticed, but for New Hope Oahu Online, it's been a banner year.
Yes.
And it's been an incredible year. We've done a lot of risk taking, a lot of new things, a lot of changes, but we've seen that the Lord has kind of kept us right in the sweet spot of His Spirit, and He's been leading us, and we just want to thank you guys so much for, I say this every week, but we really are grateful that you choose to hang out with us, choose to watch, choose to get involved, even if you don't live in Hawaii or if you can't make it to church, that you still choose, like, I'm going to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
And we're just internally grateful for that. And if you want to check out, we do have kind of like a year-end thing for New Hope Online, so you can go ahead and check that out. It'll be available. But with that, we want to say Happy New Year. Thank you so much, and we will see you right here next week.
God bless.
Aloha.